Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Felix here at the Heart Centre. Just want to say happy Lionsgate. Maybe we've been in it since the 26th. I can't do maths. Um, and everything's kind of really dialed up a notch. So let's get into the energy update as to what I've been experiencing and what has been kind of coming around collectively and universally and cosmically, um, on many different levels to go through. Really, it's quite exciting the way where we're all kind of sat and the development that we're currently going through. So I'll just pit stop um, and go through some events that are coming up here, which is the 5th of August, Self Care Monday. We've got the 8th of August, Lionsgate Full Field Recalibration. 15th of August, Psychic Healing and Development class. And then the 29th of August, the Grid Work class. I might put another event in if I feel aligned to it, but this month I feel just kind of take it nice and easy. I've also been guided to open up my half-an-hour session slots again. So this is, 30 minutes of holographic energetic restructuring, and everything else that kind of comes with that, really. So yeah, if you do feel like you want to have a shorter session, then the option is there available. It is available to you for that, which is no problem. So yeah, it's quite exciting times. Um, right, okay. So with that out of the way, um, let's get into it. So this month has been really interesting, and it's going back to the correction of the dark matter templates. The opening of that has set a precedent for a whole new level of alignments. So if you remember, I think it was either last month or the month before, um, where I spoke of the dark matter templates being corrected, and this held part and parcel with the Enki DNA skins. So if you do remember, just if you don't remember, sorry, just go back and kind of source the video. It's either last month or the month before. And this ties into the miasmic black goo. It ties into the lunar matrix, or the dissolution of the lunar matrix, which is fundamentally an overlay to our time matrix. So it's an artificial engineered matrix that is kind of keeping people in a state of control. This has been, or in the process of being dismantled more rapidly, or a more acceleration momentum of that. And the following stages of that were to go into the dark matter templates and start lifting out all the trauma that was held within that, which is the miasma, which is the Enki DNA skins, kind of like demonic energetics or eighth sphere energies held within the dark matter template that basically knock the masculine off balance. Now, this is important. So the masculine being knocked off balance prevented it from holding boundary, from holding strength within itself, and holding a state of sovereignty. Now, the interesting thing, what I saw, which I feel like has been a kind of loop round cycle where it kind of came about a while ago and then dialed up again more recently, is this Cosmic Father Ruby Templar that moved into the dark matter fields or the dark matter templates, which held like a kind of an instruction set update to repair the masculine principle to align with a cosmic father principle. Now, understanding that will help you kind of understand why we're going through this massive process of upgrading the masculine and what this then happens afterwards. So this Cosmic Ruby Templar, Cosmic Father Ruby Templar, sits as an instruction set or a kind of a correction to the masculine principle by unlocking the trauma layers and the psychology of the digressive masculine, the false king of tyranny, all of the kind of weakness, unable to hold sovereignty, unable to hold boundary, um, aspects in which you are kind of held within a state of um, held within a state of fragmentation and weakness in order for negatives to kind of manipulate and control the masculine body. Now, how this moves through to the personality, because this month has basically focused around the personality matrix for me anyway. Well, the first half of the month has been focused on the personality matrix um, to identify all layers of victimization within the masculine and all layers of negative behavioral patterning. And it's been after this Ruby Templar, or I saw the Ruby Templar going into the dark matter fields, this then issued a rapid correction of the victim templates and the archetype and rapidly updated the personality matrix and the shift of belief systems and boundaries around the masculine. Now, the interesting thing within this is every time it reverted back into the victim template or the victim archetypal mind. Now, when I was pulled back into this archetypal mind, what it did was an update to the belief systems. And as the belief systems, through a process of communication, talking, and hearing what this victim mind has to say, but also changing the perspective of it. So there's a kind of push and pull flow between the victim mind, the conscious mind, and integrating both aspects to evolve into this new belief system. This then dissolved huge chunks of victimization, which then aligned to a new sense of divine will, divine strength, and empowerment, and not to be kind of knocked around by fears and thought forms and worries about what other people may think in a nutshell, which is restrictive of your action, your own free will. So this was really interesting to me. So I kind of deep dived into it. I took the opportunity and I was like, yay, let's go for it. So as this evolution took place, I found myself dismantling and repairing. And then I think it was probably by the end of the second week, I was kind of questioning, this is a lot. I'm doing this every single day. And at the time, I didn't really know what I was doing because there was such vast amounts of trauma that was being thrown at me left, right, and center to kind of run correction in these layers, which is understandable because the personality matrix is the closest one to you. It is the thing that kind of gets overridden. And when something has been locked in, unsealed, it comes at you thick and fast. Which is, if you don't have the skills to deal with it yourself, it can be a little bit daunting. Everybody's got the skills within them. It's just about having a method or a practice or a knowing of how to kind of navigate, put it into order, and then kind of file the information, I suppose, because it is like a categorization, it is a filing, it is an understanding as to how things operate, why they're operating, and how to kind of move forwards. So with that, what I kind of like to do is create um, like a document, and I'll show you my document for this month. Is I've got a list of things that have come up, and I put them into an order so I can kind of understand where it's coming from, understand where it's going to, how it's interlinked with other things, and occasionally you'll have to go back and kind of update it. So that being said, this categorization of the personality matrix, you are basically filing your own belief systems, you are updating them, and you are kind of editing your personality to align to something that is more true to you, to align to something that is more true to your structure now that it has had an update or an upgrade. And this then gives the opportunity to kind of stabilize the field and repair base belief systems. Okay, so obviously I'm kind of within the thick of it, thinking, holy crap, this is a lot. What am I supposed to be doing here? Why is this coming up so much and so thick and so fast? And the answer to that was triple solar rod. I was like, okay, it's a triple solar rod. So the triple solar rod effectively is an architecture that I'm still getting my head around at the moment, which has been in the production of building for a while. But this triple solar rod holds, or would hold, the masculine principle, the triple solar masculine principle, which essentially downloads the solar Christ aspects, the triple solar Christ aspects, etc., and the solar Christ consciousness into the planetary body. And it also holds a kind of coding for, or the masculine would normally hold the coding of this for it to sit and merge with the triple solar feminine. Okay. So the triple solar feminine is the staff holders, and the triple solar masculine are the rod holders of these triple rods. And they are essentially genetic equals. So these genetic equals that come together, they unite to hold a vertical, horizontal, triple solar rod staff axis, and they hold this within the planetary body. So they basically embody the solar Christ aspects. Now, years and years and years and years ago, the masculine went into a rapid digression. And I'm kind of like skimming the details within this. So the masculine went through a digression of consciousness in which it became unable to hold its own triple solar masculine principle. Alongside that, there was a lot of galactic warfare, a lot of planetary attacks, which were attempting to overtake the staff and rod. Planetary architecture, which can effectively control the flow of the planet, but it's a different story for a different time. The the holding, so the rod triple solar rod principles or the codes, they had to go into the solar feminine. Um, and the solar feminine became the holders of both staff and rod, whilst the masculine kind of broke away and went into a kind of digression and a dismantling, if you will, or a kind of fragmentation. And then through this breakdown, the Earth body also moved into a digression, which put a hell of a lot of pressure upon the feminine to be able to kind of hold space for everybody, which then went into a further digression of the planet and a digression or a fragmentation of the Sophianic principle, which then became overridden with like a kind of dark mother energy or kind of like a dark feminine energy, and kind of the lunar distortions, if you will, to kind of overtake, which then held the solar Sophianic principles kind of captive, and the solar principles captive in order for kind of like negatives to feed off them, or kind of use them to charge their own systems, if you will. Okay, so the repair of the masculine principle is so important on all of these different levels. With this instruction set, repairing the masculine conscious, or giving the chance to repair the masculine consciousness, it basically pushes you into repairing it, whether you like it or not. But there will be a kind of conscious choice point and how much work you've done to kind of connect into that. This repairing of the masculine principle has been so potent in order to realign the triple solar masculine and repair the triple solar rod, which also runs a correction for the planetary light body, and to be able to take back the role of the triple solar masculine codes. So hands up if you're all confused. I mean, there's a lot that's kind of going into that, and I'm feeling a lot of I feel clarity, but there's so many words that is kind of interweaving, and channels that are kind of interweaving with my conscious mind at the moment. So I'm trying to just stay as present as I can, to deliver what it is that I have kind of been working on. So this repair of the triple solar masculine is kind of fundamental to repairing the planetary rod for the Christ consciousness, planetary Christ consciousness, integration into the planet, as well as the taking back the pressure off the feminine to become a kind of genetic equal in order to kind of stabilize the planetary currents and upgrade the planet system effectively. So, like I said, very interesting developments taking place through July. And also before the Lionsgate, all of this is kind of happening, and now we're kind of within it. It was yesterday when I kind of sat and pulled everything together, after the month, because when you're within it, it's like you sometimes you can't always find a way out of it. And it's just temporary until you kind of process enough of the information and access into your higher guidance, wherever that guidance may be, to kind of give you the bird's eye view perspective as to what is going on. So with the codes going back to the masculine, this is creating a space in which there is gender balance within, or the gender balance within the gender twin matrix and within the personality matrix, to be able to hold a stronger boundary, hold a stronger space within the masculine body, or within not within the masculine body, within any body, but holding a masculine principle where that has been kind of fragmented and damaged. The masculine side of things, or the masculine body side of things, is able to kind of step up and take responsibility for his role in creating safety and security on the planet, holding boundary in order for the feminine to open and blossom. Now, this was very interesting to me because I asked, um, I think on the 25th, a day out of time, I asked what is what did I say? What is the next New Year cycle all about? And Galactic New Year is the Lion's Gate, so we're going through a new cycle of galactic time. Um, and I was shown a restructuring of the flower of life, which then held the goddess Tara within it. So it's a rebuilding of the flower with the goddess Tara coming into blossom, coming into bloom. Don't fully know what that means right now, but what I kind of feel like it is a linkage into this triple solar rod repair, triple solar masculine alignment in order for the goddess or kind of triple solar feminine to become embodied and to become aligned back with her divine partner. So yeah, very interesting to see that. And I do need to kind of deep dive further into that at the moment, because I feel like there's a lot more information that's ready to kind of come. Um, so this expansion and restructuring of safety and security, or a kind of planetary protection in order for the opening of solar feminine, solar Christ, female consciousness, um, alignment to the planet. Now, the next interesting thing that has happened this month is I was down in, was it Somerset this month? I'm sure I was down in Somerset this month. Let me just double check. Um, yes, I was. I was in, I was in Somerset this month. Do remember things sometimes. And I was at a really wonderful healing festival. I was working down there called the Healing Weekender. Um, and we ended up going to do a grid work session with, there was a group of us on the Monday. We went to Glastonbury, um, the Glastonbury tour, and then to the Chalice Well. And as we kind of, I was walking up the Glastonbury tour, I was seeing all of this golden pulsation of light coming down and into the mound that is the tour, or the mount, it's not really a mountain, but the hill that is the tour, um, anchoring, well, all this gold light anchoring into the body. And as it kind of came up, we were guided to go around 3 times and then through the tour center and then stand at the head of it, which then opened as we were stood in a circle. There were 13 of us that stood in the circle, and this opened as a flower. And now that I'm thinking about it as well, there were 13 of us that went into the tour, but only 12 of us that went into the chalice well. So there's a kind of divine feminine aspect to the tour, but a masculine aspect to the chalice well. Now, the tour, I was shown with this, it was a, look at my notes. It was an anchoring of the triple solar rod codes into the tour, as well as an anchoring of the Solomonic shield codes, or the Solomonic shield, into the Albion ley line, which runs through the tour, if I'm not mistaken. And then at the Chalice Well, there was a purification of the Sophianic template, which I'm now also understanding a 12-12 sequence. And I'm wondering actually whether it was a 13-13 sequence within the tour and actually a 12-12 electrical in the well. Which is obviously not something new that I've got to kind of dig into and discover and figure out. But it's a kind of harmonization between the gender principles, between the balance of masculine and feminine, and just kind of understanding how the two kind of link in together as a repairing on this line. Now, what I've kind of understood is this Michael Mary ley line that runs from down in Cornwall across through to Bury, St Edmunds. The tour links in within that. It also runs as a history of the Michael Mary wing or Michael Mary wings. So it is the cosmic clock phase 9 and 3, which is significant because this is a repairing of hierogamic union across this ley line within Glastonbury. And then the day afterwards, it was we went to Avebury, which is the Cosmic Clock Center, which runs also vertically 12 to 6. So that is the higher, it is the divine masculine, divine father, divine mother, and the Michael Mary wing. So we've got the all layers of it within that Chiaki Matsuria Sokora. And going back to this Cosmic Father Ruby Templar and the correction of the Enki DNA skins to about 3 months ago, I think it was 3 months ago in May, actually, May, June, July, 2 months ago, May, June, yeah, about 3 months ago. The vision that I had back then in May was about the Emerald Order returning and the atonement of the invader races being seen and being held accountable, which then triggered all of this stuff off. It was the big cheese event that kind of changed everything really, or accelerated everything into a kind of state of liberation, which I'm not saying that that was as it was there and then, but it can be like an accelerated cycle of the breakdown of the negative structure because we're already in deep the breakdown of the negative. So yeah. Okay. So we've got this Albion light body aspect to this updating of the planetary system. And this then will correlate back to the individual's experience as well. So the next step to this, what I have been feeling into and discovering is the inner solar temple, which sits in the personality matrix, or it's an anchor point to the personality matrix. It actually runs on a 2D level, so the second dimensional field across a planetary system, across a personal system, or a personal energy, and starting to link all of these aspects of divine union together is the building of the inner sun, which or the inner solar temple, which is a seat point for the triple solar masculine, triple solar feminine to come back together in divine union. And the Temple of Solomon aspect of this sits as a light body architecture that unifies the triple solar masculine um, and the triple solar rod and staff codes, basically. Okay, just make sure I'm getting that right. So the Solomonic Temple, it is a place of harmonization within the personal light body, and it is a corrective layer to the lower emotional field. Um, and it's sat within the second stargate of the Temple Mount. Okay, so the Temple Mount in Jerusalem was a key location where we've got all of these kind of figures currently fighting. There's a set of significant gates in the Middle East and in Israel that also hold significance, and there are multiple alien agendas to try and capture, take over, and harness the gate powers for themselves. And within this second gate, or a Graal Stargate, this then directly links into the kind of God world fields, basically. So the God worlds sit beyond our time matrix, just within the primal sound field, so 16 dimension upwards. And within this layer, there is a kind of architecture that hosts the building codes for the repairing of the Solomonic shield. Now, the Solomonic shield ties back in to the masculine body and blueprint, which effectively accelerates particle spin in order for an acceleration of emotional release and a stability to hold a stronger light quotient and sovereignty within your own energetic light body, and dispels any layer of kind of infiltration, corruption on the lower layers in order to kind of stabilize the planetary rod, the personal rod. For evolution the evolution of man, but it's also linked into King Arthur as well. King Arthur and Lady Guinevere to be seated. So this is where it gets a bit confusing, because there's so many different components that kind of go into this that are all working to open or evolve the planetary light body to make sure it kind of stays active. It's always active, but it's the wrong word. To stay, just we'll say it as stay active. To stay active, um, but not to be kind of damaged or targeted. So it's like a kind of rebuilding, as you kind of rebuild and recode your own light body, your ability to process information gets more stronger and increases in strength. It's a resurrection, if you will. It is a resurrection of your own light body. But this is the same thing that's going on with the planetary system, and this resurrection of the light body changes the whole frequency, the vibration, because it builds an etheric body for us to move into on a planetary level, and you're doing the same on a personal level. So this resurrection of a light body or of a kind of etheric body, in order for you to transit as an ascending being into the next layer of your own light. Okay, so it's not something outside of you, it is you, but it evolves you into you, I suppose. Um, so what's kind of going on within yourself is going on within the planetary system, and now with this Solomonic shield, it what I understand with it is it corrects the particle spins. Oh, actually, I've got a list of things that it does. Okay, so it works as a part of the masculine rod embodiment, a key part of clearing the rod and staff principles to allow the horizontal rod and staff to merge. It changes the 11-11 spin of the masculine rod into a 12-12 electrical current. It's a transmutation of the sacral chakra that has gone through digression, and it updates and unites the King David Solomonic bloodlines from transforming from the false king of tyranny into the noble king. So effectively, the toxic masculine into the noble masculine. Okay, this shield supports the masculine in upgrading energetic architecture required for the horizontal grid and rod functions. Okay, so there's a lot of things that this thing does, and it has been opening and expanding. I completely forgot that I had notes. How could I even do that? I only spent like the whole day doing it yesterday. Um, and this works in a transmutation of the orange ray into a gold ray. So this also impacts into what is known as the Golden Eagle grid. I think I've discussed this before on my channel. I can't really remember, but the Golden Eagle grid is the father principle, and it runs through from the 10th Stargate as the hub point over the Earth. I can't give you all of the points right now because there's many. Now, this grid holds the Seraphim race. It is a grid of the Seraphim consciousness, effectively. And within that grid, the it's been under heavy attack, and like I've just mentioned, the wars in the Middle East at the moment. There's a lot of these kind of warfares over particular gates and over kind of um, over the gates, but it's also yeah, it's over the gates because they hold power and access into different layers of the fields, really into different dimensions. So effectively, what this is basically to take control and power, but also to corrupt the Seraphim race line. Now, this Solomonic shield works to rapidly clear that grid, as well as all of these other things. Okay, so the Solomonic shield coming in and opening is basically a much more rapid evolution that ties into aligning the solar masculine, triple solar rod in order to create a herogamic union and balance between the masculine and the feminine. So deepening into this, which I'm not going to go too much into, this 2D Temple Mount Stargate effectively has been under such heavy attack because it gets access into the Godwell fields. And within this Stargate, there is also a kind of golden cube. Okay. So this golden cube holds a lot of the um, builder codes. So these ancient builder codes or templates to recreate um, a lot of the light body architecture and also Edenic codes, dragon egg codes, and golden child codes as well that kind of come in with that. But there's a kind of triple solar egg thing that runs with that, which I don't really understand right now. And another thing that I also found within there when I was in there was Noah's Ark. Okay, so the symbol code of Noah's Ark, and I was thinking, okay, well, what is this? Um, and the Noah's Ark symbolism that I was told was it basically was a genetic record. So not a literal arc, but a genetic record code that held the history of all kind of races that were involved in this, which at the moment is actually outside of my comprehension and outside of my scope. So I need to really dig into discovering what this means and what it does. But this effectively triggered a whole layer of opening um, the elemental bodies to move into rebalance and also the connection into the divine mind, um, as well as the 144,000 archetypal matrix as well, which I think now that I'm saying that probably links into this genetic code or genetic record. So yeah, that that's my update for today. There's been so much that's kind of going on within it. I will do another update if I get a lot more information, um, which may be at the end of next month or it may be sooner. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, on that note, I am gonna love you and leave you. I am eternally grateful to work with you and to share the information that I can. Um, I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Lionsgate, a wonderful year to come, and a lovely summer. Let's hope that it's going to be nice, sunny, and shining rays everywhere. And yeah, if you do feel like having a shorter session with me, the sessions are open now for a 30-minute one. Um, and is that it? All right, okay. And if you can, like and subscribe. That's what I've always forgotten to say in my videos. But yeah, loads of love, guys. Happy Galactic New Year. Bye. Bye.